On this podcast, we're going to take the chance to catch up with Pippa Cramer, who's the Pastoral Care and Seniors Minister, to get an update about the Daily Hope line. Pippa, Daily Hope, the phone line of hymns, reflections and prayers that was launched way back at the beginning of lockdown. Is it still happening? And even with lockdown easing, what's going on? How are the numbers?
Oh, Sarah, it has been amazing, yes. And when I think back, it was the 26th of April. That was the day that we launched the Daily Hope. And we're now approaching 250,000 calls. That's over 2.5 million minutes of people calling the number. So yeah, it's been incredible, really. And the stories we've heard from people calling the Daily Hope have just been so inspiring and just so encouraging, and many describing it as a lifeline, really. I don't think we can overestimate just how hard it's been for people who have been shielding at home for so long now. And I just think about us in Claygate. It's over 5 months now since we had our last connections session, which I think it was on the 10th of March. That's a long time for people to be staying at home. So even with the slight easing of lockdown restrictions, what we're finding is many people are really quite anxious, unconfident about going out. So yeah, and even fearful. Actually, I'd use the word fear. There's a lot of uncertainty about the future, how it's going to be going into winter. So yeah, the Daily Hope has been incredible. We've had great feedback, and it's going to be continuing.
That's wonderful. And I know that you've been busy as well, because you've been discussing Daily Hope on many local radio stations up and down the country.
Yes, that's certainly a new thing that I would not have thought that I would be doing in lockdown at all. Utterly terrifying, but anyway, no, the presenters and the interviewers have all been very, very kind. So yeah,
that's fantastic. It's been another great way to share the message of Daily Hope. Now, normally I know that you'd be running a Connections Seaside special, and I remember that the church would get transformed into all things seasidey, and many people would say that the highlight, as I remember, was the ice cream van arriving as well. Now, am I right in thinking that there is something as an alternative on the Daily Hope line that sort of tackles this?
You are absolutely right. In normal times, we would be running the Connection Seaside special. Really missed not being able to put that on for our seniors this summer. And a lot of churches actually put something similar on in their own churches, actually. A lot of churches call it Holiday at Home. And it just got me thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if we could somehow put Holiday at Home on the phone? And so that's what we've done. We've come up with 7 different reflections with a different theme each day for people to call, and we've got all sorts of different sound effects. We've got the sound of the ice cream van. We've got seagulls. We've got the waves crashing on the floor on the shore. We've got the wind in the mountains. Children playing all sorts of different things, and there's a lovely Bible verse and a prayer of thanksgiving at the end. And it's light-hearted, it's fun, it's very different from all the other content on the Daily Hope. But actually, we thought it's August, we need something just to make us smile. So 10 minutes or so, if you call the number, you be transported off, whether it's to the seaside or to the village fair, which is based on the Claygate village fair, I have to say. Yeah, so it's been really good, and I think people are really appreciating it. We've all got our memories of where we have been on holiday in the past, and I think for a lot of people who can't go on holiday this summer, it's been great. It's been really good. So.
It sounds absolutely wonderful. What a fantastic way to just bring that sense of holiday to those who, as you said, are unable to get away, and to just draw back on memories. Let's just listen to a taster of Holiday at Home on the phone.
I know many of us will have many wonderful memories of lovely days by the sea. Perhaps when we were children, maybe with our own children. There will be an opportunity to imagine and remember being beside the sea. We shall listen to a poem called A Day at the Seaside, a Bible verse and a short prayer at the end. I do hope you enjoy. So to start with, I'd love to encourage you to sit comfortably in your chair. Make sure you've got enough cushions around you. Your feet are on the floor or on a stool. You're not too hot or too cold. Hopefully you have your coffee or a cold drink beside you. This is time just for you. Your time to use your imagination and relax. You deserve this time.
A day at the seaside. Grandma stirs from her deck chair and on the horizon sees a ship. She says to Grandpa, "You know, my love, it is time for a little dip." And so the two of them walk down and put their toes in the water. "Now, my dears, don't go out too far," comes the cry from the caring daughter.
Draw me closer to you this summer. Teach me how to pray and be with you no matter where I am or what I am doing. Warm my heart with the awareness of your presence, and please continue to remind me that you are faithful and constant. You have always been with me. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. Amen.
Wow, that was such a lovely taster for us all to enjoy. Thank you. So after August, the holiday at home on the phone aspect will finish, I assume. Is there going to be some new content on option 3 on Daily Hope?
Yes, absolutely, Sarah. On option 3, holiday at home on the phone will finish, and then we will be reverting back to some beautiful mental health reflections that we had before that were read by the lovely Pam Rhodes. So they will restart in September again on option 3, and they're looking at things like bereavement, loneliness, you know, how I'm coping at this time. So that they'll be restarting. Plus, Steve is busy working on more talks for option 1, which is Hymns We Love. So there will be 16 in total by the time, should be definitely by I'm hoping by mid-September they'll be on there. And then the other very exciting thing is another option for October, after the mental health reflections happen in September. One thing I've really noticed through people at home is that people's mobility and their general physical fitness has deteriorated a lot during lockdown. People aren't going out obviously as much as they would have done. So it just got us thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could put something along the lines of exercises on the phone, seated chair exercises. So that's what we're working on at the moment for option 3, probably for October. As we begin to go into the autumn and the winter, there will be hopefully 7 different reflections for a day, each day of the week, working on people's fitness. So lots of different things. We're really keen to keep the content fresh, and there are no plans to stop the Daily Hope. So
it's wonderful to hear how it's evolving. And I also understand, am I right in saying that Daily Hope is now available in prisons across the country?
You are right. I mean, that is just an extraordinary answer to prayer. I think it was about May time. I just felt God say, I just got this prompting to start praying for people in prison, and so I did, and then I actually wrote to the chaplain general of the prison and the probation service, and they were really keen to explore this idea more. And yes, so now every prison in England and Wales has access to the Daily Hope and a prayer line as well that they've set up. The thought of people being inside a prison cell, being able to listen to these extraordinary talks is just, it just is, it's mind-blowing really. So it's beyond what we could have imagined really. So yes, it's in all those prisons. And the other thing, we're piloting Hymns We Love in Coventry and Warwickshire NHS Hospital Trust. So we're really keen to get Hymns We Love into hospital radio up and down the country as well. So yeah, some really extraordinary things that are happening.
Wow. So much for us to give thanks for, but what can we be praying for as a church particularly?
Well, I suppose a big prayer request is just for more and more people to hear about the Daily Hope. I mean, it's wonderful doing, radio interviews and things like this, and it's fantastic people are telling older friends, but yeah, that we're aware we are not yet quite reaching the over 2.5 million people older people who don't have internet access. So that would be a really amazing prayer, a request. And I guess the other thing is the future of Hymns We Love and where that goes as an evangelistic tool series on a bit more of a national level. People are absolutely loving Hymns We Love. So I would love it if people could pray for that and just for wisdom for us as we push forward in that. And just for us as a team and for Pastoral Care and Seniors Ministry as well alongside all of this. So it's a busy time.
Yeah, it certainly sounds it, Pippa. Thank you for giving us this update, and just God bless you in your ministry. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.